Hello, my name is Caleb Wilcox. First off, I would like to give an outline of what I will be going over in this presentation. I will start off with a bit about me, my passions, my drive, and my end goals. After that, I will show some of my accomplishments. Next, I would like to share a few of my skills that are relevant to this position. Then I will explain some potential challenges I could see myself facing if I am hired. Next, I will give a summary of what I have learned from interviewing professionals. After that, I will share some of my goals and the strategies I plan to use to accomplish them. Finally, I hope to ask you a few questions regarding this position. I would now like to take the time to tell you a bit about me. The point of this slide is to show my motivations and goals in my personal and professional life. Learning and innovation are two passions of mine that are very important to me. Learning is what makes life special. I am always looking for opportunities to educate myself and learn more about the world. Knowledge is powerful and necessary in my personal and professional life. I am also passionate about innovation. I believe these two go hand in hand. With the proper knowledge and some critical thinking, I can find ways to improve systems and create meaningful change. I am driven by my desire to provide and create meaning. I want to be a provider of love, charity, growth, and stability for the people I care about. I am also driven to find ways of creating meaning in my own life. I want to have a deep sense of meaning in my professional and personal life. In the end, I want to make a difference and achieve a high level of self-fulfillment. Next up, I would like to share 3 accomplishments relevant to this position. My first accomplishment was winning the Riverton High School Filmmaker Competition. In this competition, students were required to create a 5 to 10 minute film about anything. For my film, I wanted to spread awareness about something positive and spread a good message. I decided to document a charity event held by our high school. It was a great learning experience. I learned all aspects of video production from pre-production to the editing room. My next accomplishment was a professional success where I helped a local car detailing business increase its sales by 15% when I helped them build a social media presence. I also helped produce posts and videos to help spread the word about their service. I learned a lot about client relations while working for them. I also learned about social media metrics and how to hold retention. Overall, I feel that this experience has helped me become better prepared for positions within digital marketing. Finally, one of my best academic accomplishments would be maintaining a 3.8 GPA. I feel that grades are a great reflection of me and the effort I put into things. I value education greatly, and as I said before, I think it's what makes life special. I am very proud of these accomplishments, and I feel that they are milestones in my journey of becoming a marketer. Now I would like to show off some of the skills that I can bring to this company. I have spent many years developing these skills, and I hope to continue to strengthen them. One of my hard skills is filmmaking and photography. I have always loved filmmaking, whether it's making short films with my friends or making an advert for a local business. I think that film is a very powerful way to communicate with an audience. In marketing, I think creating high-effort, good-quality advertisements is one of the best ways to sell your consumers. In an age where many companies are resorting to cheap AI-generated ads, I think genuine, well-crafted content can help a product or service stand out. I think of photography in the same way. Too many companies are resorting to AI-generated images that can be blasted out into social media. I think consumers find it cheap and disingenuous. Next, I want to talk about my dedication. I have not always been a hard worker. When I was a kid, I wasn't required to do much around the house. It wasn't until my first job where I learned what hard work looks like. I learned that hard work is more than just a way to get a raise or a promotion. It's fulfilling and rewarding on its own. Since then, I have always been known as a hard worker. My supervisors have always told me that they were impressed with my dedication to the job. I guarantee that I will bring that dedication to any position I am in. Finally, I'd like to speak to my high moral standard. If you are looking for someone to cut corners, deceive, cheat, or look the other way, I'm not your guy. I believe that the client and consumer deserve honesty and transparency. So many companies decrease the quality of their product and deceive their customers just for short-term profits. I believe I could bring a good perspective on right and wrong, and I can assist in creating a long-lasting agency. Now I would like to share some of the challenges I anticipate facing in this role. The first is leadership. I've had few leadership opportunities in my career so far, and it's an area where I would like to gain some experience. While it seems that this role does not require the management of a large team, it does appear to present a collaborative environment. I can see this as an opportunity to be a leader and to practice managing a small team. It is through that exposure and experience that I hope to overcome the challenge of leadership and eventually take on more serious leadership positions. Another challenge that I could face is communication. While I feel that I am experienced and capable of communicating with clients professionally, I feel less confident in communicating with coworkers under my leadership. I have had good and bad bosses. I think proper communication is what makes a good leader. It's not even that they are good at articulating well, they just speak to you in a way that makes you feel important and heard. They don't feel the need to exercise their power or demand respect. They just speak to you like a teammate. This is the type of communication I plan to practice in my future roles as a leader. Finally, I expect there to be some technical challenges regarding software. I am experienced in film and photo editing software, as well as Excel. But there is always new software to learn. Specifically, I'm not very experienced with Adobe Illustrator, which is a very important tool for creating advertisements. Luckily, I pick up new software quickly, and as long as I continue to use it regularly, I should be able to remain competent in software workflows. Now I would like to talk about my experience interviewing some working professionals. Devin McGabe had a lot of insight on how to grow in a career. My favorite piece of advice he gave me was, don't wait for opportunities, seek them out. Sometimes I can find myself waiting for things to happen, an internship, opportunity, or a scholarship, but those things need to be sought after. Rarely are things just going to fall into place on their own. I also had an opportunity to talk to Ryan Payne. He's a recent UVU graduate and is currently in his first entry-level position. Since starting his entry role, he said he has already learned more than his whole college education combined. I really appreciate the advice from the two, and I plan to apply it to my career path. Now I want to talk about some of my career goals and the strategies I will use to accomplish them. My first goal would be to lead a marketing campaign for a Fortune 500 company. It sounds trivial, but it would be a huge honor to work on something that would have a large impact. These companies have immense resources, and it would be exhilarating to have a large budget and a good team to create something that many people will engage with. My next goal would be to make a six-figure income. I'm not looking to get rich, but I do want a steady income that can provide a comfortable lifestyle for me and my future family. My long-term goal is to start my own marketing agency. Starting my own business has been a lifelong dream of mine. Add that to my passion for marketing, and I have my dream job. Now I want to share my strategies on how I plan to accomplish these goals and how this position plays a role in that plan. My first strategy, and the one I'm using now, is a heavy education focus. I'm currently at UVU, where I take my education very seriously. Having the necessary education is vital to my plan. I have a passion for learning, and I plan on continuing to learn throughout my career. I believe that this position would be an amazing learning experience. This also ties into my second strategy of getting a good entry-level job. While I do value the education from UVU, I believe that experience in the field will provide even more learning opportunities. That then leads into my final strategy of heavy work focus. I plan to take my work very seriously and value the lessons and mistakes along the way. With this plan, I believe I can achieve my long-term goal of owning my own marketing agency. Now I hope to leave you with a few questions. What is BrandSpark's policy on honesty? Is there any software that would be good to become familiar with if I am hired? How would you describe the company culture? Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I really appreciate the opportunity.